Once upon a time, in the heart of a thriving village called Duru, where the whispers of the ancient trees mixed with the laughter of children, humans, and mystical creatures lived in harmony. It was a village blessed by nature, with rolling hills, lush forests, and a river that sparkled like diamonds under the sun. Among the villagers was a girl named Obiora, whose beauty was as enchanting as the village itself. Obiora was not just beautiful, she possessed a calm and gentle nature that made her stand out even more. Her long, flowing hair shimmered like the night sky, and her eyes sparkled with kindness. People admired not only her appearance but also her heart. Her smile was like a soothing balm, bringing comfort to those around her. The men of the village were captivated by her, and many tried to win her affection. Obiora, they would say, you are as lovely as the first bloom of spring. Will you marry me? But Obiora always responded with a serene smile, thank you, but I am not yet ready for marriage. Her refusal was gentle, leaving no hurt feelings behind. Every day, Obiora would rise early and make her way to the bustling market of Duru. She sold the freshest fruits and vegetables, each piece carefully selected to be the best. The colors of her produce were as vibrant as the village itself, and the taste was unrivaled. Her stall was always crowded, for everyone wanted a piece of what she offered. Yet, despite her popularity, no one knew where Obiora lived. She would arrive at the market before the sun had fully risen and leave just as it began to set, her home and life remaining a mystery. Where does Obiora go when she leaves the market? The villagers would whisper among themselves. Where does she live? But Obiora kept her secrets close, revealing nothing about herself beyond her kind demeanor and the goods she sold. One day, as the sun bathed the village in its warm, golden light, a handsome stranger arrived in Duru. His name was Emma, the traveler from a distant land, seeking fresh produce for his journey. As he wandered through the market, his eyes fell upon Obiora, and he was immediately struck by her beauty. Who is this captivating woman? Emma wondered, his heart racing as he watched her interact with the villagers. Gathering his courage, Emma approached her stall. Hello, my name is Emma, he said, his voice a mix of nerves and excitement. May I ask your name? Obiora looked up, her gentle smile making Emma's heart skip a beat. I am Obiora, she replied. How can I assist you today? Emma was enchanted by her calm presence and the kindness that shone in her eyes. He bought some of her fruits, but it was clear to both of them that his interest lay beyond mere produce. They began to talk, their conversation flowing naturally, like the river that wound through Duru. They spoke of the village, the market, and the beauty of the land. Emma was captivated by Obiora's voice, a voice that seemed to carry the wisdom of the ages. Day after day, Emma returned to the market, not for the fruits and vegetables, but for the chance to see Obiora. Their friendship blossomed, and Emma found himself falling deeply in love with her. Obiora, too, began to look forward to Emma's visits, finding joy in their conversations and the connection that grew between them. One evening, as the market was closing and the sky turned a deep shade of blue, Emma noticed how late it had become. Concerned for Obiora's safety, he offered, "Let me walk you home, Obiora. It isn't safe for you to be alone in the dark." Obiora hesitated, her eyes reflecting a moment of uncertainty. But Emma's insistence was gentle yet firm, and she finally agreed. They began their journey together, the path ahead dimly lit by the fading light of the day. As they walked, the air grew colder, and the silence of the night enveloped them. Suddenly, Emma felt a chill run down his spine, a cold hand brushed against his back, sending a wave of fear through him. He turned quickly, but there was no one there. His heart pounded in his chest, a sense of dread beginning to take hold. He looked at Obiora, who seemed unbothered, her steps steady and her expression calm. "Obiora," Emma said, his voice trembling slightly, "I think I should go back. It's getting too dark." Obiora turned to him, her eyes soft and understanding. "If you feel uneasy, Emma, you may return to the village," she said, her voice gentle. Emma, unable to shake the fear that gripped him, nodded and hurried back to the village. He ran as fast as he could, the memory of that cold touch haunting him with every step. From that day on, Emma never returned to the market to see Obiora. The villagers noticed his absence and whispered among themselves, but no one knew the truth of what had happened that night. Obiora, though saddened by Emma's sudden departure, continued her life in Duru. She maintained her gentle demeanor, helping those in need and bringing joy to those around her. Yet, the mystery of her life remained a secret that few would ever uncover. For Obiora was not just an ordinary girl. She was born in the depths of the ancient, magical forest that lay beyond Duru. In that forest, she lived with her family, beings who were not human but possessed the ability to take on many forms. Among them, Obiora was unique, for she could appear human at all times, a gift that set her apart from her kin. Her family loved her dearly, but they were wary of the human world. They had warned her many times, "Obiora, you must not marry a human. Our worlds are too different, and the consequences could be dire." When Emma began to visit Obiora, her family grew concerned. They feared that she might fall in love with him, and so they devised a plan to protect her. The cold hand that Emma felt on that fateful night was not a mere coincidence, it was the work of her family, a trick to scare him away and keep Obiora safe. Obiora, however, felt conflicted. She had grown fond of Emma and longed to experience the world beyond the confines of her family's rules. She wanted to live freely, to make her own choices, and to forge her own path. And so, with a heavy heart, Obiora made a decision that would change her life forever. One day, she ventured deep into the forest, where the ancient trees whispered secrets only they could know. She approached her family and said, "I love you all, but I can no longer live under your protection. I want to make my own choices and live among the humans." Her parents, though heartbroken, understood her desire for freedom. "Be careful, Obiora," they warned her. "The world outside can be harsh and unforgiving." With their blessing, Obiora left the forest and moved to Duru village for good. She hoped to find happiness, love, and a sense of belonging among the humans. Yet, she knew that her journey would not be easy, and that the shadows of her past would continue to follow her. To ensure that she would not be drawn back into her family's world, Obiora decided to visit the shrine of Abari, a powerful spirit known for helping those who sought a new path in life. The shrine was nestled deep within the forest, a place where the veil between worlds was thin. Obiora knelt before Abari's altar, her voice steady but filled with determination. "Great Abari, I wish to sever all ties with my family. I seek the freedom to live my life in Duru village, away from their influence." Abari appeared before her, a soft glow illuminating the shrine. The spirit listened to Obiora's plea and nodded. "I understand your wish, Obiora. I will grant you the freedom you seek, but know this, your family will not be pleased. They may try to bring you back through means you cannot foresee." Obiora, with courage in her heart, nodded in agreement. "I understand, but I still wish to go through with it." With a wave of Abari's hand, the bond between Obiora and her family was severed. The connection that had once tied her to the magical world of the forest was gone. But, as Abari had warned, her family was not pleased. When they realized they had lost their connection to Obiora, they were overcome with anger and sorrow. Her mother, in a moment of desperation, cast a curse upon her daughter. "May you never find happiness with a human. May they always leave you in despair," she whispered to the winds, her voice filled with grief. Despite the curse, Obiora remained in Duru. She continued to live her life in the village, selling her goods in the market and interacting with the people. She hoped to find love and a sense of belonging, even though the shadow of the curse hung over her like a dark cloud. But Obiora was determined. She kept her kind and gentle nature, believing that one day she would meet someone who could see beyond the curse and love her for who she truly was. One day, a well-known merchant named Carlo arrived in Duru village. Carlo was a man of many talents, traveling from village to village, selling fine cloth and beautiful garments. His charm and friendliness had won him many admirers, and when he saw Obiora at the market, he was instantly captivated by her beauty and grace. Who is this lovely girl? Carlo wondered, his heart skipping a beat. He approached her stall with a wide smile. Hello, I'm Carlo. I travel far and wide, selling the finest cloth. You must be Obiora, the girl everyone speaks of. Obiora smiled back, her eyes twinkling with warmth. Yes, that's me. It's a pleasure to meet you, Carlo. From that moment on, Carlo visited the market frequently, always finding an excuse to stop by Obiora's stall. They talked and laughed, their conversations filled with light and joy. Carlo found himself falling deeply in love with her, not just for her beauty, but for the kindness and strength that radiated from within her.